Thank you so much. My name is Antonia Gonzalez, and I am your Central and Southern Area Director. So I do cover zones 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, and 19. So all of Oklahoma, Texas, and then some of our territory in the central part of the area. I am also joined by one of our account managers who manages both Heartland and Gateway Zone, Ali Chang Ray. And then we do have some of our support specialists, and I do see Ron joining us today as well, your account manager from Ohio. Thank you so much for being on today, Ron. And today, this morning, we are going to discuss events. So all things events, and I want to know from you all who are joining us today, where you're coming from, and if this is your first year serving as a campaign worker, or if you've been doing this for 5, 10 years, let us know where you're coming from and how long you've been serving in this role or any capacity for CFC. All right, and you can just put that in the chat. First year, okay. First year. Oh, I see Terry Morgan on with us today. Good morning, Terry. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you doing?
Very nice. Very nice to see you. A lot of first years. Melissa, 15 years. Thank you so much for returning year after year. We greatly appreciate it. So we have some people that have a lot of experience and maybe want to add. So if there's anyone that's on today, and as we're going through our events and you have some great ideas and things that you've done, please feel free to share those with us. But for all of our first year folks, we're going to make sure that you know everything that you need to know and that you feel comfortable in hosting an event, because this is really the main way for us to be able to connect with charities and for our federal colleagues to understand what it really means to participate in the CFC. Giving financial or volunteer hours is one thing, but really hearing from these charities and the work that they're doing in our communities is what the CFC is really all about. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And I do not want anyone to feel like this is a formal training. If you have questions, throw them in the chat. We want to answer your questions as they come up. If there's anything that you want to unmute yourself and ask the question verbally, please feel free to do that as well. So we'll stop every now and then to see if there's any questions and allow people to unmute themselves if they'd like to, okay? All right, so number one question for everybody: should you host a CFC event? Yes, of course, by all means. If you have the ability to host a CFC event, please do so. CFC events are going to provide so much to your organization, to your agency, and to these charitable organizations. This is where you are going to get the opportunity to connect with these charities. It's also where you can have fun with the CFC. So much of the fun with CFC kind of felt like it went away in 2017 when we had all the regulation changes. But we really want to encourage you to bring that fun back and bring CFC back to your agencies, as everybody's kind of returning to the office and not doing so much telework. You are going to have more and more opportunity for having these type of fun events. So I guarantee you having these events is going to increase your participation, is going to increase awareness of the CFC. So make sure that when you're doing these events, you want to make sure that you're informing people, you're inviting charities, excuse me. And there's also ways to do events where you can reach those people that are working from home. So we can do hybrid events, we can do virtual events. So just kind of think outside the box. And, events are definitely the best way for you to introduce the CFC to your colleagues. And as with anything where the government is concerned, we always are going to have rules and regulations around what an event may look like. And so just a few key points that we want to make sure that you all are aware of when you're hosting an event. You want to make sure it is being conducted within your regular duty hours. So we cannot have a happy hour at the pub down the road after work to talk about CFC. Really want that to stay on agency grounds during regular business hours. Still have some fun around it though. And then of course, make sure that it meets all of your agency's ethical standards. So Terry, I believe you're at Stratcom, or are you at Offutt?
Me, No,
Well, you're teleworking. I see you're at home right now, but
no, I'm with I'm with General Services,
okay.
but I'm retired Air Force. So I still drive on the base, and my daughter actually works for the wing, the 55th wing, not the wing itself, but a unit within the wing. So I'm on the base. I have relationships with both Stratcom and the 55th wing. Um, but yeah, I'm I'm the Omaha area.
Yeah.
So but
So so Terry, if he's going on base and holding events and things, what it might look like on a military installation, an Air Force base, may be completely different from what it looks like at a Social Security office. And so when you are thinking about hosting an event, you just want to make sure that you are following the guidelines and ethics regulations for your specific agency. Yes, Terry.
yeah, the main thing that you'll need to do, um, and I'm sure if you're on a base, you already know it, but with the restrictions and everything, you definitely have to let your charities know and get that entry authorization list and coordinate with your security forces squadron in order to get on there. But again, I hate to say it, if you're going into a federal building, and this is coming from GSA and as an old facility manager, you're going to run through security issues either. So you'll need to coordinate with if you're not a GSA agency and GSA is managing your facility, you definitely need to check with the building manager. Typically, they have a permit that you need to fill out, which is just basically telling them, hey, I'm going to do this. But you need to let the charities know and kind of give them a heads up that they're going to have to go through the security screening and everything like that. And again, a courthouse is completely different than a federal building, is
Mm.
completely different than a TSA office at an airport. So,
Right. For sure. Thank you so much, Terry. That's great insight. As you kind of start thinking about what your events might look like and hosting these events, could be things that you've never even considered or thought of because you've never been in this role before. And so kind of thinking and speaking with those folks that do know is really going to give you a head up. Yes, Allie.
Hi, good morning, everybody. And Tony, I also wanted to add that I know that some of our CFC zones will coordinate volunteer opportunities through CFC approved charities that are going to be off-site. I know that the FAA in Oklahoma City, I believe, is one that does that actually pretty frequently.
Mhm.
Would you like to speak to that, or would you like to give a little more context around that?
Having events offsite.
Just volunteer
Oh,
opportunities.
volunteer opportunities. So volunteer opportunities, yes, that is going to be something that is a bit different. So that's not necessarily considered an event. That is your pledging of hours to a nonprofit organization. Those are things that you are either doing on your own time or that you are doing, if your agency is an agency that provides that time, perhaps, your agency provides 2 hours per employee to donate volunteer hours, and that could be done on duty time. Again, those are things that you definitely want to speak with your agency ethics officers about and get that approval prior to actually hosting or promoting any of those types of activities. But if it is an event per se that you're inviting everyone to, definitely during duty hours, unless you get prior approval. So just, consider that and think of that before you proceed. And if there's anything that you are, thinking about doing for your event and you're like, I wonder if that's acceptable, ask and get approval prior to. Okay. And so then a couple of the things that have changed or things that we want to make of note, events you cannot accept cash at events. So that was a regulation change that occurred back in 2017. So for those of you who potentially have been with the federal government for a long time and you remember having these, various events and everybody was collecting cash to promote, charity, etc. That definitely is not allowable. So if somebody comes up to you and says, here, I'd like to donate this $10 to the X and X, nonprofit, that's wonderful. We appreciate it. We cannot accept your cash, but here's a pledge form. You can make a one-time donation via this pledge form, or here's how you go online to make that pledge. So just make sure that you're always promoting paper, online, mobile app, whichever option. And then we cannot unfairly benefit one charity over another. So whenever you are requesting charities, you can definitely put in the specific cause that you would like. And so if you're wanting to have charities that are dealing with education or animal welfare, you can definitely select that cause. And then the randomization, the system will randomly select charities within that cause. Now, there has been one change to this recently, just last year, I believe, where if you do have a specific charity that you want to invite, that can be done. That is a request that you can submit. However, you also have to have the option of if you want only two, if you wanted two charities to attend, if you wanted to select a specific charity, you can, but you also have to have another charitable organization that is selected at random, because we want to, again, have every charity have an equal opportunity to participate in the campaign. Do we have any questions we need to address? Okay.
Antonia, I was wondering if you could address Terry's addition to the chat about text to donate. Just want to clarify for folks that while that is an option, whether or not their federal office would receive credit for that donation.
Right. So text to donate is definitely new, came in last year, and it is a great way to collect those donors who potentially would not participate in another way. They don't want to create an online account, or they don't want to, complete a full pledge form. The text to donate is like 4 clicks and you're done. You can do, PayPal or credit card or Venmo. So it's a really great way to collect those donors and have them participate. However, just a word of caution, anything that is a text to donate will not show up on your agency reporting, because again, they are not creating a profile. They are not entering a office or unit code. It's not tying to any payroll or anything like that. So there's no way to actually track those for your particular agency. Okay, so just FYI, definitely a great way to have people participate who may not otherwise participate though. Yes, I thought I saw a hand up. Terry, hi.
And again, I know there's the competition and all the agencies want to get credit for their contributions. We are, as part of the national working group, I'm not sure if we got any, well, we have other members, but that's something we're working with OPM for them to kind of get something added for next year. And hopefully that'll work to where there'll be an identifier that you can attach your office. But again, like Antonio and Ali had mentioned, right now it doesn't attach, but don't let that stop from using that device. I mean, I realize your offices and everything want to get credit, but ultimately what the CFC is to get pledges and donations to the charities. So if there is no other way for, this may be the only way that you can get them to donate, go ahead and do it. And then just when you do your briefings and everything, just say, hey, I know for a fact we had probably 5 people that did a text to donate from our organization. I don't have the money amount for what they did give, but you can state that, hey, I had 5 people at this event, or 6 people at this event, or 2 people at this event that did make a pledge. So at least you'll have the number. But again, don't let that prevent you from doing that, because again, like I said, we all like to see our numbers and what we did to support, but ultimately we're here to support the charities in the CFC.
Yes, for sure. You don't want to turn a donor away because they can't do the online, or they can't create an account or fill out a paper pledge form. So definitely offer that as an option if they are saying, no, I don't want to do that, or don't want to do that, or can't do that way. If they want to participate, offer them every option for them to be able to participate. Okay. Thank you, Terry. So where can you find all of the resources for hosting your event? Well, this slide's a little bit out of order, but I want to make sure that you all know about this. So if you need materials or CFC swag, you can contact your area director if you do not know your local account manager. So your local account manager that you're working with, that are, communicating with you on a regular basis, you can always reach out to them. They're the ones who are going to place your orders, who are going to fulfill your material request. So if you need posters, all of those types of things, if you need paper pledge forms, if you need swag, reach out to your account manager. If you do not know your account manager, again, this is our list of area directors and the zones that they're responsible for. So reach out to them and they can connect you with your account manager, make sure that we get your orders placed for you. Okay. So going for one of those items, the tabling kit, this is definitely a really great resource for you to have when you are hosting an event. This is available for most zones. Some of the zones do not have this kit available for you. However, it is going to be a great way for you to set up a display, be able to draw some attention to your CFC, that you have CFC going on. You're going to get some tablecloths, red, white, blue. You're going to get some CFC balloons and the ribbons to, attach the balloons to the table, some CFC stickers, a little postcard that gives you tips on how to host a great event, also with some ideas, images on how to set your tabling up, and just kind of a nice little way to, you don't have to run down to the Dollar General or to Walmart to find all of these supplies. Some of your agencies, you may have a public affairs office that has all of these things. So I definitely recommend that you do, if you have public affairs, communicate with them. They're always going to be a great resource to add to your event. But if you don't have something like that, this is definitely available for you from the CFC, your outreach coordinator team. So if you're going to have 2 or 3 events, order 2 or 3 tabling kits. If you're only going to have one, just say, hey, I need 1 tabling kit sent to me. I'm going to promote this kickoff event or mid-campaign event. So get those, put those orders in. Again, reach out to your account manager or your area director, and we will get those ordered for you. So going back to where you get your resources from. So on the givecfc.org website, and I'm going to go ahead and take you to the actual site. If you haven't been on givecfc.org, go on there, take a look. There is a lot of information here for you as a campaign worker. For all of you, you are going to go to the campaign worker section. That's where you'll find everything. And then right here in this little blue bar, yes, Noemi, you have a question?
Sorry, Nathaniel Overby asked, how about the pumpkins? Are they the virtual fair? Nathaniel, I'm not sure if you think that.
Yeah, if you can clarify there, Nathaniel, on your question, and then we'll get to that and get you an answer here quickly.
And I'm sorry for interrupting the ladies. For the virtual fair that's being hosted on the 30th of October, what was told to me and where I got an email, there's supposed to be pumpkin carving for our SESs and ESs. Where are we supposed to be obtaining those pumpkins from? Are we purchasing them ourselves for them to use for those events?
Yeah, generally that would be something that would be your or agency paying for. What zone are you in, Nathaniel?
I'm in Ohio.
In Ohio.
Yeah.
So Ron is on. Ron, if you want to raise your hand. So
And I'm sorry for interrupting you guys.
That's okay. That's okay. So Ron's your local account manager. If y'all want to DM, he can probably get you some additional information, or if he's not aware of what that event is for, then he can communicate with you offline and y'all can find out what that might need to look like for your agency. But generally, yes, if there are various events that y'all are hosting and you have different things that are needed, the CFC itself, the outreach coordinator, does not really have a budget for all of the event stuff that you're hosting and providing. So that would be something that you would work with your agency to find out what your budget may be, if any. Some agencies don't have a budget and they don't really provide you with anything. And so they're going to be like, you know what, if you can get those donated or, whatever that might look like. Some agencies have fairly significant budget. So again, each of your agencies, you speak with your leadership and see what that might look like. The CFC has been something that's been going on year after year for over 60 years. So there's generally something established. And so whoever your leadership is would have, that information for you, what that might look like for your agency.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And so where you would go to get information and resources for you on hosting your event is right here on this blue banner. There is this header that says host an event. And so that's where you're going to go to get additional information. So there's step 1, step 2, whether you want to involve charities or not. I do recommend that if you have the ability to invite charities, please do. This is, again, where those charities are going to be able to connect with your colleagues. They're going to be able to let you all know what their organization does. They want to participate. They want to attend your events. So whether you're having a virtual event or if you're holding an in-person event, you go in and you complete this form, request charities for your event. This is a new charity, or if you're going to change your request, say you maybe had some changes that you need to make, and submit this form with all of your details. One note that these events need to be, charities need to be requested at least 14 days in advance of your event. So that way they can have plenty of time to check their calendars and make sure that they, have that date and time available for you. And then also to give you plenty of time to be able to promote your event after you have your charities requested. So come in, complete this, let us know what date, time, your location, and then submit that. And that's the only thing that you need to do. Once we then receive that, then we will be the ones who are reaching out to the charities and getting them confirmed. And then we will follow up with you with an email letting you know these are all of the charities that are confirmed for your event. This is their contact information. And then you can connect with those charities once you receive that list and then provide them with any additional details that you need to give them for attending your event. Okay. So really easy process. Again, just really completing that form 2 weeks prior at least to your event. And then we can get those charities confirmed for you. Down here on step 3, there's also additional information here for you. I recommend that if you are hosting an event, download this events guide. It is going to give you from jump exactly what you need to do all the way through the end of your event. So there's going to be a checklist for you, all of the things that you maybe even never would have considered thinking of when you're hosting an event. Again, how to publicize your event, capturing the moment, thanking everyone, and then give you kind of a timeline of when to think about hosting your events, maybe having a kickoff or start strong, or promoting around a specific cause area that maybe makes sense with your organization or something that a lot of people within your agency really promote and support. Maybe doing it around Giving Tuesday, which is that biggest giving day of the year. That's the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, which this year falls on December 3rd. So thinking about doing an event around that time frame, or as you finish out your campaign and wrap up, doing something during that Finish Strong week, or even a thank you event post campaign. So thinking about those different times, how to incorporate charities, what that looks like, tips that we have. And then again, I know that this is a big question that most people, want to know. And so playing by the rules, what you shouldn't do, maybe generally get ethics involved if you have any questions, and of course, green light, go. And then ideas list. I think this is the thing that everybody kind of really focuses on more. What can I do? I don't want to just do the regular thing. I want to, have something fun and different. And so, a lot of different ideas here for you. I know a lot of our military installations like to do these 5K challenges. So thinking about something like that, doing the lunch and learns is a really great way to, have charities involved. You could have a few different causes and have a charity for each cause, and, just really give, 5-10 minute presentation on, their organization, whether you do that in person or on a virtual capacity. So there's a lot of different ideas, and, really kind of think outside the box. Think about ways, how that really works with your agency, what the culture of your agency is like, and just kind of have fun with it. I will say, and oh, Allie, I didn't realize you have your hand raised. Go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. You can finish, Antonia. I just wanted to add just a tip after you're finished with the
Yep.
list.
For sure. I just wanted to give a little bit of information on what one of my VA, my West Texas VA, they have a great group, and they are constantly trying to think of new and fun ways to incorporate CFC. And so just wanted to throw this out there because they do it well, and they do so much. And so one of the things that they do is they have their director, they take a picture of him, blow it up, cut it out to his form, and then they could kind of do like a "Where's Waldo?" and they hide him. Where's Director, Smith? And they hide him throughout the facility each week, and people have to find him. And then they get CFC bucks. So they create CFC bucks, kind of like Monopoly money. And people earn CFC bucks whenever they find him, and whatever that looks like for that week. And then they also will hide CFC bucks around the hospital, and have like a scavenger hunt type game, and people will find this money. So they do this all through the campaign, and then at the end of the campaign they do a silent auction with items that are donated, and then people bid on those items with their CFC bucks. So again, it's no way that it's not it's not excluding anyone. It's a way to really engage every employee with the CFC, bring awareness, bring fun, and they don't have to participate by pledging, but it's another way to just kind of bring fun and awareness of the CFC to their campaign. So yes, Allie, go ahead.
All right, Antonia, I love that idea, and we might actually have to feature that on an upcoming ELCA roundtable here for the CFC roundtable. So, all right. But in the meantime, I also wanted to offer, so I love this list that Antonia just offered. One thing to think about is, as Antonia mentioned earlier, there is no cash that can be exchanged as part of the CFC. That went away a few years ago. But one of the things that we find some of our offices will do is, so let's just say it's a chili cook-off. We know that one of the requirements to make a one-time donation is $10. And so rather than ask someone to contribute $10 in cash to participate like in a chili cook-off, what folks will do is they will actually kind of set up like almost like a checkout sort of line. They get their chili, but then they open up their CFC giving app, and then they make a one-time contribution of $10. They'll have to choose their charity, but then they show it to the CFC campaign worker just to verify that they've made the contribution, and they get to walk off with their chili dish. Or it might be their entry to the cutest pet contest or whatever that is. But I know that for some folks, they see this no cash sort of thing as a barrier. And I'm saying that I found that for some of my offices, they've been able to find a way where it works well with the technology, where the contribution is there immediately. There's no cash exchange, and that barrier is removed from feeling like you can't do events. So I just wanted to offer that too.
Yeah, great ideas. Thank you so much, Allie. And I do want to, at this point, since we kind of talked about all these different ideas, if we do have some folks on here who have done events, and since we have so many brand new first year coordinators, is there anyone who'd like to share some ideas on things that they've done, just to kind of have additional ideas out there for our new coordinators? Or any of our account managers, maybe who have seen some fun stuff that, is kind of outside the box that you want to share? Yeah, Ron, go ahead.
Last year I saw an office chili cook-off where, much like Allie was just speaking, in order to vote, you had to make a donation. And they used text to donate, by the way, right there. So that was the prerequisite to vote for your favorite chili. So you could eat all the chili you want, but the idea was to vote. So it was just another way to do that. Although I like Allie's way better. You don't eat unless you donate.
Thank you so
That's
much,
all.
Ron. Thank you. And I'm seeing some fun stuff in here. Lorna Pipkin, hot apple cider and caramel apples, doing a pickleball tournament this year. That's fun. That's so on trend with what people are into this year. One thing that Tinker Air Force Base did a few years ago was a bubble soccer tournament, which was such a blast. I did not participate, but I definitely watched. And that was a lot of fun to watch those guys playing those bubble soccer. So yeah, there's all kinds of things that you can do that is fun and involving, and you can get so many people to attend, and isn't, just a charity fair where you have tables set up, which those are great too, because that's a really great way for people to visit with a lot of different charities, but also kind of, having more fun with it. And don't think about that you have to just hold a CFC event. If there is an event that is already happening within your agency, tag onto that. Find out who's hosting that event and say, hey, would it be possible if I set up a CFC table at your event as well? And so that way we can get a lot of the people that are already attending your event to, learn a little bit about CFC. Generally, they're going to say yes. Nobody's going to tell you, no, you can't do that. But of course, you want to check and see. So having any kind of an event that you already know there's going to be attendance at, and just tagging on a CFC component to it is going to be ideal as well. So as long as you have some sort of an educational component about CFC, then that is considered a CFC event. Okay. Let me go ahead and come back here to our PowerPoint. So another few things that you want to consider doing if you're hosting an event is making sure that you are promoting it. So you can create flyers, you can hang those up around the, you can hang up posters around your facility, hand flyers out to people as you're speaking with them, create them as a PDF that you can email out to people, and just letting as many people know about your event as possible. Promoting it at staff meetings, anytime that you are presenting in front of someone or attending a meeting where you have a captive audience, make sure you're saying, oh yeah, don't forget, we also have our CFC event coming up on X date and time. And then inviting your leadership to speak. If you can get leadership to attend and, do a 30-second, intro, talking about the campaign, supporting the campaign, that's always going to be beneficial for you as well. And then working with your public affairs comms, they are able to spread the message far and wide, maybe more so than what you are able to do. If there is a newsletter for your organization, or if you have a Teams page or some other form of communication that public affairs manages, if you can, build that relationship with them or ask them to, hey, can you please promote my event? Here's the information. Generally, they're going to agree, yes, that's not a problem. We just include it in our standard communications. But that's another way for you to just kind of spread the word a bit further than what you are able to do. And so just kind of always think outside the box a little bit like that. Another thing that I'll just kind of throw out there, just because I was speaking with one of my VA coordinators yesterday here in Dallas, and they were telling me public affairs is a great way. They have newsletter. That's how they communicate. They do town halls, which where all leadership gets on these meetings on a weekly basis, and they get on that agenda. But then there's also other departments within the VA that they kind of work with. And so there is another group that creates their media content. And so, if they need posters made, this other department, they've got a relationship built with them, and they'll, do the creative for them, and they'll print those posters out, in a larger format. And there's another department, the facilities management, who are the ones who set up their tables and decorations and things like that. So find out within your agency who those departments are, what their resources are, because generally there's going to be other people that can help you, and kind of pull like a events committee together. They may not be doing anything else outside of the event itself for your CFC outreach during CFC season, but you may have these certain people that you want to pull together when you're hosting an event, because they're going to, of course, take a lot of that load off of you, and if you're having any kind of a larger event. So let's just kind of think outside the box and figure out what that might look like. So we already kind of talked about the different event ideas. That's in your event guide for you. And then think about doing a virtual charity fair. So this is another way to incorporate charities. If you just maybe don't have that time to, get the charities in attendance, or give them 5-10 minutes to speak. Maybe you're just doing a regular staff meeting. You want to mention the CFC and say, hey, CFC is happening right now. This is when our CFC campaign is running. This is what the CFC is. This is how you can give. But then you want to include a little bit of a component about the charities. There is something called the virtual charity fair. And when I shut down earlier, I shut everything down. So let me come back in here. And so what the virtual charity fair is, it's again, right here on your givecfc.org website, virtual charity fair. And these are videos and stories that have been submitted by your charities. And so you can come in here and you can take a look at one of these organizations, click on that, and there is a video that you can play. These videos are all under 60 seconds. And it's just a really great way for you to speak on the CFC a little bit and then have them hear from a charity, and then you're done. And that's your event. It's just a part of your staff meeting. But again, another way to incorporate a bit more from charities included in your event. And then if you want to tie your event to a cause area, this year, of course, the theme is Give Happy, but also it's expanded beyond Give Happy from last year to all of these different impact statements, because not every charitable organization is giving happiness. It's, giving shelter, it's giving nourishment. And so there's these various causes that are supported throughout the campaign. One of the things that we did not do this year, national marketing did not tie the causes to specific weeks. So you can really determine whatever time you want to support a specific cause or promote a specific cause within your agency. And so, maybe you are Department of Housing and Urban Development, and your cause ties in with giving shelter, and so you want to do an event around that and invite charities that support that cause. And so think about those cause areas that mean something to your organization, that tie into the work that you all do as well. And then tie those events around that and include those types of charities within your event. Do we have any other questions that we need to address? Just noticing that the chat was a little going on there. So, all righty.
Most of them we've been answering.
We're answering everything. Okay, perfect. So there are a few events that your outreach coordinator hosts as well during the campaign season. And so, there are things that we will invite you all to. You can then share that with your colleagues. It's another great way for you to invite colleagues to an event. Not anything you have to do beyond sharing that invitation with them. This one actually just wrapped last week, so I didn't update our slides. Sorry about that. We will make sure we have that updated before our next event. But this was our federal feud. If you attended any of our other trainings over the last couple of weeks, you've seen this and it was promoted. Hopefully some of you were able to attend that, but it was just a fun 30-minute kickoff event for our campaign workers to just get you hyped about this campaign season, get the momentum going, and show you what a virtual event could potentially look like for your agency. But our next one that's coming up is at the end of October, and these CFC pet costume contests, they are a hit every year. So we've done these in multiple zones, just zone specific. So we decided this year that we were going to just open it up for all 21 of our zones. And so we have a form for you all that you can, any of your colleagues can upload their pictures of their pets in their costumes, and then it'll be a voting platform, and everybody can vote on their favorite pet. And then the winners will be promoted on social media, on our Facebook pages as we go into November. So October 28th through November 1 is when that pet costume contest will be open for everybody to do their submissions and vote. And then the week after is when we'll select the winners, or we'll promote who the winners were from that voting. And so we'll have information going out on that very soon, probably by the end of this week. So be on the lookout for that. And then again, it's easy. You just share that with everybody in your office. And if they'd like to participate, then the instructions will be there for them to be able to participate in that. And then we do have social media ourselves as well. So we do have a local YouTube channel. So a lot of the events that we host will be on there for you to view. There's various trainings that'll be listed on there for you. And so as things are happening throughout campaign season, you can definitely go to the YouTube channel and check out those items or those things that are happening. We do have Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook pages for each local zone. Noemi, if you have that, those Facebook pages, if you can load them. If not, we can definitely follow up with that information for everyone if you're not aware of what your Facebook page is. If you do find your Facebook page, it's again your zone name, like Terry is Heart of the Midlands. That's Midland CFC / local CFC or facebook.com/Midland CFC. So your local zone name is your Facebook page. I ask you to follow us as the campaign worker. If you guys are having events that you have going on and you want to promote those on the CFC Facebook, please do so. Take pictures. We want to know all of the things that are going on, and we want to see the fun involved around campaign. And so, if you want to take pictures and shoot those over to us and say, hey, can you post this on your Facebook page? We would love to do that. So please do that. Follow us on our social media pages. We want to see all of the fun that's happening around the country. And then again, if you have additional questions and if you're not sure who to reach out to, these are your area directors. We will connect you with your account managers. We will give you the answers that you need. We don't want this to be an additional. We know this is not your main role. You have full-time positions. So this is a volunteer role, maybe even a voluntold role. We want to make this as easy as possible on you. And so please reach out to your account managers, reach out to your area directors, any questions that you have, and we will get those answers for you or point you in the right direction. But thank you so much for joining us today. We hope that you come away from this training today with additional ideas and how, what your next steps might need to be in hosting your event. So think about those, and please share your events with us. We'd love to hear about them as we go through campaign season. And I'll stay on as long as anyone needs, if anybody has any additional questions, and feel free to unmute yourself, throw them in the chat, and we'll stay on to answer your questions that you may have. But thank you so much for joining us today. Yes, Terry, you question or bye? Okay, bye, Terry. Thank you for joining us.
I was just waving to everybody.
Hey, Antonio.
Hi
Antonio,
there.
this is D'Angela. I am very interested in hosting like and so I guess, since you are my account manager, I'll be
Yes,
getting with
ma'am.
you.
Okay, perfect.
But I really would love, and I just this morning got asked to be a key worker for the OCFO. I'm
Okay.
like, I'm already a coordinator for FSD. Can I be a key worker as well? But they told me yes. So I'm a key worker and I'm a coordinator. So
Oh, perfect. They don't know how great they have it. Well, thank you.
Yes, I
Yes,
really want
let
to
me
get
know
with
whatever
you.
you need, D'Angela.
I will, because I want to host an event. I want to do I'll tell you, my daughter did something for her job to where they went into the thrift stores and helped them fold clothes, and they went another time they went to like a food bank, helped them put up the stuff or help them, pack up packages. I would
Oh,
love for GSA to do something like that here. So
perfect. That would be amazing.
yeah,
Yes.
I'm like,
For
Volunteers
any
of
of you,
America, it can be GSA Volunteers of America.
yes, exactly.
Just something that, we all can share with, with volunteering. So I would definitely
That's
get with
great. I think volunteering is a great way to get your team involved and turn them into lifelong givers for sure. Thank you so much, D'Angela. And
Yes, thank you.
I'll speak with you more details on whatever it is you're needing, okay?
Okay, thanks. I will get with you.
Yeah, thank you. I
Bye-bye.
thought that there was another hand up. Maybe they had their question answered already.
Yeah. Antonio, while you're looking, there was a question that showed up in the chat about details regarding uploading the information needed to participate in the pet costume contest.
We will get that information out very soon, probably by the end of this week. I'll make sure that our team gets that out this week, and then we will have information for you. There'll be an email, there'll be a flyer, a link to a online form for you to fill out and submit your photos with it, but it will have all of the instructions in there for you.
Okay, that's awesome. I think people got really excited when you talked about
Hey,
that
good.
contest. Yeah.
I think we're gonna probably have like 500 pet photos.
At least. I mean, how to choose the cutest pet now,
I
that's
know,
gonna be
that's
hard.
gonna be
Yeah.
hard. Hi
We
there.
also have another
Christopher.
question from Christopher.
Yeah, I see Christopher there. Hi there, Christopher. Feel free to unmute yourself.
Hey, good morning. This is Town Lewis over at Arnold Air Force Base in Tennessee. I just wanted to ask real quick. I see that the meeting is being recorded. Is there a place that we can to find that later on, or
Yes, we
something
will
to that effect?
actually we'll load it to our YouTube channel, and then when we once we get that loaded, we'll actually have a email that will follow up with all the attendees this week, a little bit later this week, probably it'll be by Friday. I forgot today's Wednesday already. So yes, we will actually share that recording out Friday with all the attendees, and so you'll get a copy of the slides along with the recording link.
Okay, perfect. And just also another question. This is probably just pertaining to myself, but if this also goes for other people, hopefully it helps them too. I registered for some other trainings with the CFC, but I haven't gotten any like Zoom links or team links to link up with those guys. Is there like a training, I guess, point of contact to kind of square that away?
Yeah, so if you haven't, let's get you actually your Tennessee. Are you at Quinetta is your zone, right? Quinetta, can you put your email in the chat so that way Christopher can get that, and then we'll find out. Quinetta will work with her area director and find out what the issue was, why you didn't get those links, and we will make sure we get those to you for whatever you need to register for, okay?
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, Christopher. All right, do we have any other questions? Okay, well, thank you all so much. We greatly appreciate it. We really hope you feel confident moving forward in hosting some of these events. And so again, just reach out to your OC team and we are here to help you and support you in every way we can, okay? Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day.